Bonjour and bon café. Not much on French. Welcome to Morning Musings. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma. Well, I'm continuing to share with you my personal journey to the full preterist view. And everyone acknowledges very clearly that the book of Revelation is central, foundational to any understanding of the last days, of eschatology. And needless to say, there are all sorts of views about Revelation. But one of the things that really deeply impressed me as I was struggling with my traditional eschatology, perhaps I should say one of the things that caused me to struggle with my traditional eschatology, was the absolute perfect harmony between Revelation, Jesus' eschatology, and regarding the fall of Jerusalem in AD 70. Another thing that so deeply impressed me, and continues to this very day to challenge me, is the marriage motif, the wedding. It's incredible to me that this motif of the wedding that begins in the Old Testament, that has strictly to do with Old Covenant Israel, God making a new covenant with her after he divorced her, i.e. put the Old Covenant away, is completely divorced, pun intended, completely divorced from the study of Revelation. I mean, this is incredible. And yet John tells us, Revelation 10, Revelation 22, that Revelation is about the fulfillment of the Old Testament prophecies. So commentators come along, and if they are aware, and clearly they are, but if they are aware of the wedding motif in Isaiah, in Hosea, in Jeremiah, if they are aware of the wedding motif in the Gospels, and they are, they come to the book of Revelation and they say, oh, well, you see, the wedding in Revelation doesn't have anything to do with God's remarriage of Israel, the promise that was made in Hosea, the promise that was made in Isaiah. Nothing whatsoever to do with that. And the wedding motif in Revelation doesn't have anything to do with Jesus' parable of the wedding feast in Matthew 22. Really nothing whatsoever to do with that. Instead, we're supposed to view the wedding motif in Revelation having something, somehow, some way, to do with a yet future wedding of Christ at the end of time, not when he would divorce anyone, even though the terminology of the harlot and the destruction of the harlot is divorce imagery from the get-go. We're supposed to ignore that, you see. And we're supposed to see that the wedding motif is Christ marrying the church, having nothing to do with Israel, at the so-called end of time, and or the destruction of Rome, which had nothing whatsoever to do with a covenant marriage relationship between God or with God. It's supposedly about the destruction of a literal Babylon in literal Iraq, and yet literal Babylon in literal Iraq never had any kind of a covenant relationship with God. So therefore, where does their divorce and remarriage come in? Or somehow, some way, we're supposed to see the wedding motif, as some would suggest, the destruction of New York City or New Jersey or America. Look, folks, God was never married to America. But Revelation is about a divorce and a marriage, about the punishment of a harlot wife and the marriage of a, shall we say, new bride. But according to Revelation chapter 7 and verse 14, this is the salvation of the remnant of Israel, which in turn, of course, is the fulfillment of those old covenant promises made to all the house of Israel, that in the last days he would betroth her, he would remarry her. You see, This is about Israel and her promises. Well, I have a whole lot more on this. Thanks so much for joining me. Oh, by the way, thank you so much for all of the wonderful emails I've been getting, the private emails I've been getting in response to this, to Morning Musings. May I ask you to do something? You know, this is the time of the year for gift giving, and I would like to ask you, I don't do this very often at all, I would like to ask you that you very seriously and very prayerfully consider giving a gift to Preterist Research Institute. There's so many absolutely wonderful doors that are opening that we need to be able to take advantage of to help people. You would not believe the things going on, for instance, in Ethiopia. But boy, is shipping of books free books to Ethiopia ever expensive. So at this time of the year in which giving is on your heart, on your mind, would you consider giving a gift to Preterist Research Institute? Would you please consider supporting us on a monthly basis? Now you can do that. And by the way, Preterist Research Institute is a tax-exempt nonprofit organization. But you can go to my website, www.eschatology.org or BibleProphecy.com, and on the left-hand side of the page, you'll see a way there that you can give either a one-time gift or you can sign up for a monthly subscription. We really do need your help at this time of fantastic opportunities to continue to spread the truth of covenant eschatology, i.e. true preterism, to walk through these wonderful doors of opportunities that are being opened to us, to share this wonderful story of realized salvation. Would you help us with that? I hope you'll give it some prayerful consideration. Well, thanks again for joining us for this morning's Morning Musings. We'll see you on the flip side.